As the class of 2018 heads to campus for the first time, a new study from ACT finds interest in higher education is increasing among high school graduates. But is this interest translating into enrollment? And are all these incoming freshmen actually prepared for college-level courses? To discuss, we're joined by Paul Weeks, ACT's Vice President for Client Relations. Thanks for being with us, Paul.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about ACT's study. How did you come up with these numbers?
Well, for over 20 years, ACT has been putting out an annual report on the condition of college and career readiness. And it gives us an indication of the preparedness of students nationwide. The population now represents about 57% of the graduates nationwide and increasingly representative of the students. And it's important for us to kind of keep a gauge on how students are doing in terms of preparedness.
So it's great news that more high schoolers want to go to college, right? But are they following through with their goal?
Well, the good news is that access is increasing to these opportunities and that aspirations are high. But the reality is that from a performance standpoint, even though we're making gains, many students are still unprepared, and there is a gap between aspirations and those enrolling. When we look at last year's group, well over 80% indicated that they wanted to go on into higher education, but only 69% actually enrolled.
All right, so we have to do something about that. Which areas improved this year, and where are students still lacking, as you say?
Well, we saw minor increases in the overall average score, and we saw increases in English, reading, and science. But I think most concerning is we still see a large percentage of students, over 30%, who our research indicates aren't ready for any of the corresponding college courses in English, math, reading, and science.
That is very, very disturbing. Can you tell us geographically which states show the strongest improvements and which ones failed to make the grade?
Well, some of the states that showed the strongest improvement this year are some states that have been implementing the statewide ACT for a number of years. Those states like Colorado, Kentucky, Illinois, North Carolina, Tennessee. Not surprisingly, some of the states that had the largest decreases are states that have only recently adopted that policy, but that's as much a function of suddenly going to testing all students versus a self-selected population.
All right, Paul Weeks, thank you so much for that.